Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to go over the 5 rogues that I ban most within Rogue Company Ranked and sort of explain to you why I banned them and which maps I specifically want them banned on when I'm playing. I think the ban system added some of the most interesting features into strategy within Rogue Company, and so I want to share this video with you to give you an idea of what you might want to be looking at banning when you get into this stage of the game. If you do go on to enjoy the video or you just want to see daily educational Rogue Company content, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But for now, let's get into it. Now the 5 rogues I'm going to be going over either are very strong at the moment and you may want to ban them to remove that threat from the enemy team, or they have a specific strategic element that is very annoying to deal with that you might want to ban out also, so you don't get countered by it so often. We're going to start with number 1, and this is going to be probably the strongest rogue in the game right now, as she has been for a while, Kestrel. If you or your teammates have no intention of playing Kestrel, I would honestly recommend you ban her every single time, no matter the map, no matter the side. I would ban Kestrel because she is an absolute playmaker, and in the right hands, she can dominate a game by herself. It's the reason I use her so much in solo queue to rogue, is because she is so good, so forgiving. Her weapon is very strong. If you hit headshots with it, it has one of the fastest timed kills in the game. She has massive survivability with her stim shots. She also has great pick potential with the ultimate and the bounce nade. And she's just very obnoxious and very hard to deal with when she's in the right hands. She also has that flank pressure with padded steps and stalkers. She can get around the map silently and quickly, which is just always a pain and can often lead to being tripped up. But I do find myself banning Kestrel quite often. If I do not want to play her myself, she tends to get the ban unless I know a teammate really wants to play her and I can trust that teammate. Or generally, if I'm just playing another duelist and don't want to deal with that Kestrel, she'll be banned in that situation as well. She's just very strong, very good at the moment. Arguably, and in my opinion, the best rogue in the game. So banning her if you have no intention of playing her is a really good strategy. Next up on the list is going to be one of the other powerhouses at the moment, and this is actually going to be Sigrid. Sigrid is really obnoxious in the right hands, very similar to Kestrel, not quite as annoying, but she has very much the same elements of she has great 1v1 pressure with that shield, she has great survivability with life drain and the stim shots, with tenacity, and obviously not being able to be damaged through her shield. She has a lot going for her, as well as being able to plant the bomb really obnoxiously behind that shield. She can really disrupt what you want to do. If I'm going Phantom, I tend to ban her quite a lot, because although I can try and weave in that headshot, if I don't, I'm not going to be able to hit the body punch through that shield, and it's very annoying. So Sigrid often gets a ban. I also think if I don't trust my teammates to be amazing, I'll ban her, because Sigrid is just so good at punishing players that you're better than. I talked about her for a very long time. A good Sigrid will punish a player that she's better than, because she can just outplay them so easily. And so if I'm not fully invested in my teammates, I will tend to ban Sigrid just to stop that very easy pressure. I've seen Sigrid absolutely take over the game. I've taken over the game as Sigrid myself. So she's just in that same similar spot as Kestrel of, hey, she's kind of really strong at the moment, and she's kind of a pub stomper. Let's get her out of here if we don't want to deal with it. Also, in a sort of higher level sense, in a more competitive scene against really good players, Sigrid is a bit of a monster, so she tends to get the ban quite a lot. Another ban that I think is very common, and probably one that you'll find yourself banning most often, or at least in your games, is Lancer. No one wants to deal with the flank of a Lancer. Whilst I do not think she is a super high priority ban, because you can just rat for her, you can play Talon, you can play Glitch into her, and offer that counterplay. Sometimes you don't want to have to rely on that. For example, if I know I need to carry, I don't want to be playing Talon on the flank. I want to be in the enemy's face with something like Kestrel, and so I may choose to ban Lancer in that situation, just so that I don't have to worry about my team getting destroyed by her. Lancers tend to do that so often. I don't tend to find much trouble going into them, but I do find that my team does. And so I'll often ban Lancer just so that my team doesn't have to deal with it. Specifically for Lancer, I ban her on a couple maps. Skyfell, she's really common. Canal, she's really common. Any of these maps that really reward flanking and late rotations, I'll tend to ban her. Just because I don't want to deal with her is essentially it. And that's what a lot of you want to deal with. I don't find her particularly obnoxious unless she's running through my teammates. And that is the biggest threat for me. So that is why Lancer gets the ban. Some maps I would not ban Lancer on, by the way, is High Castle or Factory. I do not think the flank pressure on those maps is good enough to warrant that. I think there's better options for flank pressure, such as Dallas or Glitch. So I wouldn't really recommend banning Lancer. In fact, I actually get kind of annoyed when Lancer's banned on those specific maps. Now I'm going to talk about 2 rogues that I ban purely from a strategic sense. The first one of these is going to be Anvil. Anvil on his own is not that hard to deal with. You can very easily kill an Anvil. You can nade him out. Yes, he has trophies and tenacity, but you can kind of outplay that situation pretty well. His gun isn't the best, so he's easily outgunned by better positioning and just a little bit of awareness about how to play into him. However, where Anvil does shine is his retake ability. And this, as a solo queue player who just wants to get the bomb down and hold an angle, can really ruin everything. My most recent solo queue to road episode where I was playing as Phantom, in fact, I actually banned Anvil on lockdown purely because I didn't want to deal with the retake. I wanted to plant the bomb, get my team to plant the bomb, and go really far back with my sniper and never let them defuse it. And banning Anvil there meant they weren't able to do that. We planted at A a lot, and I was able to hold those longer angles like I wanted to. That, from a strategic sense, was a really, really good ban and really worth it. Anvil on big, heavy retake maps where they can't hold the site, they tend to play for a retake instead. These are going to be maps such as Lockdown, maps such as Canals, Icarus, High Castle, these big retake-focused maps. I like to ban Anvil just because I don't want to deal with the pressure, and I rarely want to play Glitch. Glitch obviously being a massive counter into the Anvil, but he doesn't really apply the same pressure as some of the rogues I would rather play, especially in solo queue. So instead of keeping Anvil and having to play Glitch, I just ban the Anvil and I can play what I want for that sort of situation. But Anvil does tend to be a pretty high priority ban for me on a good few maps nowadays, especially Hollows. Hollows is a map where I learned the hard way how good Anvil is on attack and defense. So I do ban Anvil on Hollows pretty much exclusively nowadays. And the last ban is a very similar ban, a strategic ban, and it's going to be onto Trench. Now, Trench, I'm not afraid of in a fight at all. Like, of all the rogues, I would say he's the one I'm least afraid of to get in a gunfight where the MXR doesn't really hit and the HRM is too punishing for most people to use properly. But the reason I want to ban Trench is because 3 trophies, the trip mines, which are so hard to see, and the barbed wire make breaching anything really, really hard. So on maps such as Icarus or even Factory, he gets the ban for me. I don't want to deal with a good Trench setting up shop there and just slowing my advancement. The only way you really get around with it is by playing Glitch again, or by playing Sigrid to walk through some of his slows. Even then though, not being able to util dump and push people off the site, having to be worried about trip mines, these are not really things I want to have to worry about, especially when solo queuing. So Trench takes the ban on a few maps, so particularly things like Icarus and Factory, as I said. Now with all the bans, you do have to be careful that none of your teammates want to play them, because again, these are good picks for these maps clearly. So banning them away from your teammates who want to play them is kind of counterproductive. So if you don't think your teammates want to play them, or you don't think your teammates will be able to play them well enough or outplay the enemies should they pick them, then I would opt for those options. Anvil and Trench being very strategic picks, Lancer being just that one that everyone gets annoyed by and is kind of worth it if you're afraid your team's going to get rolled, and then Kestrel and Sigrid just because they're 2 of the most dominant rogues right now and are really, really worth that ban. Okay then guys, that takes us to the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING to see live gameplay commentaries, guides, Q&As, and playing with us. All the links are going to need it down in the description below, but for now, I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll catch you in the next video.